Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry episode 3. So last time we got a lot. We got confirmation that Beatrice, or the human Beatrice, lived here in Kuwadorian Mansion in 1967. So that is, I guess, the real part. And then we got speculations. Me and Butler pretty much said the same thing. Kinzo had a daughter with his mistress, but he's not looking at his daughter as his child. No. The way he looks at the child is basically like a reincarnation of his mistress. And it's weird because Beatrice was talking about Kinzo courting her, right? Insane. But we still have a lot more with Rosa this time. She said she did something bad to Beatrice. How it happened, let's learn about it today. Okay, let's start it.
多分中学生かよく覚えてない。とにかくそのくらいの頃だったと思うわ。
ってことはだいたい20年くらい前ってとこか。
あの頃の私はあまり成績が良くなくて、いつもお母様に怒られてばかりだった。私なりに努力していたつもりだったんだけど、お母様の期待には全然応えられなくて。
母上はローザにも随分厳しかったな。当時は同情していたよ。
陰口ばっかだったくせによく言うわね。
予算かエヴァ。それでローザさんはどこでベアトリーチェに会ったんや。
秀吉さん、今はせかしてはダメよ。いいのよローザさん、楽に話して。
ありがとう。あれはお母様に特にひどく叱られた日よ。
Even though my tutor had promised to keep it a secret, apparently they told Mother all about how I had complained. My mother scolded me brutally, saying my name was a disgrace to the Oshirimiya family. I mean, I guess we're seeing more on why Rosa is like this now, right? Everyone hates her. Of course, I was doing the best I could, but I had none across Nissan's dignity. I couldn't get excellent grades like Eva Nissan, and I had no leadership abilities like Rudolf Nissan. I never stood out, didn't particularly excel at anything, and I found myself asking why I'd even been born into the Oshirimiya family. I began to question more and more why I'd even been born at all. This is what happened on the day I experienced my mind going blank for the first time. For the first time in my life, I realized that in addition to facing or surrendering to my problems, I had the third choice of running away. How could you run away in an island, right? Where would you go? Though I say run away, there's no way I could have left Rokinjima and gone somewhere else. Yes. But anyway, I wanted to run away from the mansion and my own self at that time. In a way, it was like a kid running away from home, a passive sort of...
いなくなりたかったの。
Yeah, sorry if I don't say that word, because YouTube doesn't like that word. I'm sorry.
あるいはいなくなることによって親を心配させたいという子供なりの反抗だったのかも。私は森の遥か奥に行けば後宮の家から逃れられる あるいは迷子になって心配させることで仕返しができると子供ながらに思ったの。
それで行ってはいけないと言われていた森に？
ええ、浜辺へ出てから海に沿うように。特に理由があったわけじゃないけれど、島をぐるりと回ればその反対側には誰も知らない場所があって、私だけの隠れ家になるような気がしたの。
浜辺からぐるっとってのは無理だな。途中で崖になっちまうだろう。あんなとこ通れるわけがねえぜ。
もちろんよ。だから通れる方へ通れる方へ、とにかく奥へ奥へ進んだわ。道なんかないひどい森だったけど、あの時の私にはそれが心地よかったの。それほどの険しい森を抜けたなら、その分後宮家から逃れられるって、そんな気持ちだったの。
情けないわね。成績で叱られたならその分努力すればいいのに。
それを言ってはいかんね。その代わりローザにはデザイナーとしての才能があったじゃないか。
Literally speaking, he was covering for Rosa. But everyone knew that Rosa's company hadn't been profitable.
よせよ。今は嫌味を言ってる場合じゃねえぜ。そして偶然たどり着いちまったんだな。ベアトリーチェの隠し屋敷に。
Rosa nodded weakly.
どのくらい歩いたんや？地図で場所が示せるんか？夏さん、この島の地図はあるかいな？
いえ、今ここにはありませんが。
無理よ。適当に歩いただけだもの。地図を見せられたってわからないわ。それにあれから20年も経ってる。多分森へ行っても二度とたどり着けないわ。
Okay. But yeah, then how did she leave it then? Several people let out dejected sighs. It was vividly clear that in their haste, they thought some hint related to the witch's epitaph. Or maybe even the gold itself might be resting there. Maybe.
六軒島はこの屋敷の周りが整地されているだけに過ぎねえ。他は完全に未開で、前頭測量は相当の手間がかかるだろうな。
でも確かに存在すると分かっただけでも収穫よ。お金はかかるだろうけど、例えば航空写真の会社に調査を頼むとか。
Yes, like I said, a helicopter. You could probably find that if you had a helicopter, right? If you could see what's underground. It's not like that thing is covered from top to bottom. No, it's only covered, I guess, in the front by the trees. But when you're up in the air, you could definitely see that.
このお屋敷を建設した業者に当時のことを聞くとか、調べる方法はあるかもしれないわね。そうね。あるかないかもわからないものを探すよりはまだ方法があるはずよ。
早速調べる価値があるだろう。
その調査は兄弟合同でやるわよ。兄さん一人ではさせないわ。
It wasn't yet certain that the gold was hidden in that secret mansion. But the spark seemed to have started flying between Kraus and Ava already.
兄貴たち、今はよせよ。
I mean, Ava's just getting way overly excited.
ローザ、続きを話してくれ。
Blindly, randomly, I kept running on and on. Suddenly I came across something I thought was an animal trail. I was very tired and had no idea how far I'd walked. So at that time, I naturally took the easiest path, I mean. Sorry. Ooh, look at that. High gates. And heart signs? Heart shapes? As I did, suddenly right before my eyes, a very, very tall fence appeared. It was a fence wonderfully adorned in a gothic style. For an instant I thought I'd gotten turned around and returned to the original mansion. Of course, there were fences around the mansion to stop us from entering the forest. But this fence was decorated differently, and moreover, it was very tall. It probably reached 2 full stories up. It was covered with ivy and created a mysterious solemn atmosphere. At that time, I believed in the legend of the witch of the forest, Beatrice. I had been told that she was frightening, but some of the servants told me that she'd sometimes help you if you respected her. Since I had a little confidence in those days, I believed the only way I could be saved was by receiving her help. That's why I thought what I did. I believed that this was the fence of the mansion belonging to Beatrice, the witch of the forest. I thought that if I could meet with Beatrice, she'd definitely save me. So I decided to try going in. But the fence was very, very tall and it didn't look like I'd be able to go over it. So I chose to walk around it. I thought that if I did, I'd eventually reach a gate. But it wasn't that easy. The fence had an incredible length to match its incredible height, and no matter how far I went, I didn't reach a corner. It might have encircled a massive area, or maybe I just had the impression because my child legs made it difficult to walk in the forest. Anyway, I couldn't find a gate for a while, and I started to feel sad as though the witch had rejected me. As I did, I eventually came upon a large tree whose twisted root had bent the fence. It might get my clothes dirty, but if I crawled, it looked like I'd be able to sneak in.
そこが隠し屋敷だったの？
あれが私たちの言う隠し屋敷なのかはわからない。でも少なくとも私たちの知る場所ではなかったわ。
It wasn't as though I came out into a garden as soon as I passed the fence. I had continued through a lot more uncultivated forest after that. As I did, the forest suddenly opened up. What anime was it? That has kind of similar to this? Promised Neverland, I think? Like they had, this fences all around the area. And what appeared there was an unbelievably fantastical scene. Putting that on Rokinjima, where I thought only we lived, there could be such a wonderful mansion hidden away. A beautiful flower garden spanned the front of the mansion. It was a flower garden, completely different design from the rose garden we know so well, and it was very, very lovely. Of course, the mansion was also wonderful. It was a couple sizes smaller than ours, but it was still elegant and adorable at the same time. Then I saw her figure. I saw her sitting in the garden chair, positioned to give a view of the flower garden, wearing an elegant dress. It was a black dress embroidered in gold that we would later know from that portrait. I hadn't seen an elegant dress like that except in fairy tales and on the stage of musicals. For a person to be wearing it as their normal clothes, that in itself seemed quite fantastical. That mysterious scene was enough to make me lose my sense of reality. If someone had told me that it was a dream, I might have nodded obediently and waited to wake up in my bed. I'd forgotten to hide myself in my shock, so she eventually spotted me. At first, her expression was quite listless, but when she noticed me, her eyes opened very wide. It was only natural considering that a guest she didn't know had suddenly appeared. I lowered my head automatically, planning to greet her and apologize for entering without permission.
そなたは誰か新しい庭師なのか
Those were the first words she said to me. But did you said gardener? The new gardener. I grew slightly calmer because I realized that we could talk to each other. Because I hadn't been turned into a frog just by meeting her eyes, like a terrifying witch in a fairy tale.
ごめんなさい。勝手にお庭に立ち入ってすみません。そなたは誰か名乗るがよい。後ろ宮。ほう。金蔵の一族の人間なのか？はい。金蔵の娘です。こんにちは。
I was a little surprised. After all, father was a great man, feared by everyone. And yet she had spoken of him without using honorifics. So I was immediately terrified of her. After all, if she could refer to my fearsome father that way, she must be a witch with incredible power. After staring at me curiously, she beckoned me to come over. Frightened as I was, I obeyed. After all, I thought she might really turn me into a frog. The closer I got, the stronger that fear became. After all, as I keep saying over and over, that woman and her dress and the flower garden and the mansion, the whole picture was so fantastical and beautiful that it seemed separate from reality. It probably wouldn't have surprised me at all to learn that she really was a witch. And I really was lucky. She hadn't turned me into a frog. As awkwardly I stood there, stock still, she motioned to open a chair and urged me to sit down.
座るがよい。
Wow, that's a nice picture.
初めて訪れた者を庭へ招き、語らうのがわらわの唯一の楽しみよ。他に何の楽しみもないがな。
As she said this, she let an unhappy smile show for just an instant. Because I was so full of a strange mix of tension and excitement, I rudely asked her a question all of a sudden.
森の魔女ベアトリーチェですか？いかにも。わらわがベアトリーチェである。
やはりな。ベアトリーチェは実在したんだ。
その姿はまさに肖像画の。
ええ。まさにあの肖像画の通りよ。
お父さんの想像の中の魔女じゃなかったんやな。
それであなたは彼女と何を話したの？
彼女はお茶を入れながら私のことをいろいろと聞いたわ。まず森を抜けてやってきたことを驚かれた。彼女は 柵の外には危険な狼がたくさんいると信じていたみたいだった。だから私が森を抜けてたどり着いたと言ったらとても驚いていたわ。どうやって狼から逃れたのか、ビスケットを渡して許してもらったのか、それとも魔法の街灯をかぶってなんて感じのことを言ってたっけ。
そりゃ確かに魔女っぽいわな。面白いお人や。
あなた黙って。ずいぶん昔だけど、お父様は森には狼が住んでいるから近寄ってはならないって私たちを脅さなかった？
ああ、そんなこともあったな。バカらしいね。日本の狼はとっくの昔に絶滅しているというのに、まさに子供騙しだな。
記憶にねえな。そんな話親父に聞かされたっけ。森には魔女だろ。狼なんて話聞いたことないぜ。
あんたがまだ小学校だった頃よ。覚えてない？そしたらあんた、むしろ狼を撫でてみたいなんて言い出すもんだから、お父様はすぐに狼の話を引っ込めて魔女の話に切り替えたのよ。
Okay.
もうその嘘っぽいことと言ったら
当時のルドルフには狼よりも魔女の話の方がてきめんだったね。よく覚えているよ。私の背中にしがみついた夜があったことを覚えているかね。
ルドルフさんにもそんな可愛らしい時代があったのね。
うるせえな。子供の頃の話だぜ。
まあとにかくベアトリーチェを閉じ込めていたのがお父さんなら、同じ狼の話をするのは道理ね。彼にとって六軒島の広大な森は後ろ宮家と愛人の屋敷という相入れない二つの異世界を分断する超えて。
柵の高さを考えると、どうやら親父殿は庭ごと丸々を座敷牢にしたようだな。
Yes, a giant jail cell. He doesn't want her to leave.
さながら二つの世界を分ける国境も同然だったのだろう。
狼はともかく野犬の類でもいたのではありませんか。そのための策だったかもしれません。六軒島に狼も野犬もいないわ。その策は兄さんやキリエさんの言うようにベアトリーチェと私たちの間の国境だったんでしょうね。
しかし狼の話を素直に信じるなんて、なんちゅうか純朴やな。
The thing is, if you were raised in a place, yeah, for example, her, in that mansion, sure, it is big. You will easily believe that, oh, the outside world is dangerous. If you go outside, you might get killed by wolves or all that stuff. It's easy to believe that if you are in that situation, that you don't know what's the outside. But if you are like you lived in the outside world and then you came back like that, or you got put in a place like that, of course you would not believe it.
わしの想像していた魔女とは随分違う感じやで。
そうね、それは私も感じたわ。とても尊大で、確かに魔女のイメージ通りの人だったんだけど。
Basically, she's just a normal girl who lived there, and that's it.
どこかとても子供っぽくて。 なんていうのか、素直すぎるというか、世間知らずな印象を受けたわ。例えるなら、本当におとぎの国の人みたいというか、本当に不思議な人だったわ。
それからどうしたんだ？親父の話とかは出たのかい？
ええ。何日かに一度、約束されている日もあれば、突然の日もあったそうだけど、ふらりとお父様が訪れては、一緒にお茶を飲んだり、散歩したりしたんですって。私が訪れたその日は、たまたま彼女一人だったと言っていたわ。
なるほどな。まさに愛人といったところだ。やれやれ。いくつ年下か知らんが、親父殿もやるね。
いかがわしい意味での交流はなかったと確信しています。
バカね。男と女の仰せに色気がないはずないじゃない。それでどうしたの？それから何の話を？
私の自己紹介をしたので、逆に彼女のことを質問したわ。そうしたら、急に雰囲気が落ち込んでしまったの。なんていうのか、とても気だるそうな、寂しそうな。私が初めて彼女の顔を見た時に浮かべていたのと同じ表情だった。
まあ秘密の愛人だからな。好き勝手に歩かれてお袋に見つかっちまったらことだ。きっと軟禁に近い状態だったろう。綺麗なドレスに綺麗な屋敷や庭があってもさぞや窮屈な思いをしてたんだろうぜ。そりゃ苦労もあったろうさ。それで
彼女はきっと何か悩みがあった。それを私に話したところで何の解決にもならないというような雰囲気が読み取れて、私もとても悲しかったのを覚えてる。私と一緒にいることさえ忘れてしまったかのようで、遠くをぼんやり見ながらずっと無言でいたわ。私はきっと失言してしまったに違いないと思ったんだけど、謝罪の言葉すらも口にしていいような雰囲気じゃなくて、だから私も彼女が私と一緒にいることを思い出してくれるまで
Maybe she just realized that she was being lied to, and then she muttered unexpectedly.
柵の向こうには本当に狼などおらぬのか。
Or maybe she's just happy, right? Because there is something out there.
はい。狼なんて動物園でも見たことないです。
動物園とは何か。
What is a zoo? Of course she doesn't know that.
ああ、いろんな動物が飼われているところです。象とかキリンとかパンダとか珍しい動物がいっぱいいますよ。
動物園に狼はいないのか。ならその怖くないかもしれんな。
狼がいたとしても動物はみんな檻に入ってますから安全です。だから安心して見学できるんですよ。
The mighty witch of the forest was apparently terrified of wolves. I remember it looked pretty funny to me at the time.
それはわらわとどう違うのか。
She didn't know about Zeus. I explained how fun Zeus could be. But it was a very difficult person like for a difficult for a person like her who had never visited one to understand. On the contrary, as I explained it to her, her expression grew increasingly dismal. She couldn't see the difference. Apparently, even though she lived in an elegant mansion that was surrounded by a high fence and seemed to lack for nothing, she couldn't see how she was any different from the animals shut up in the cages.
わらわは何者なのか。皆はわらわのことをベアトリーチェと呼ぶ。それは確かにそなたの言うように偉大な魔女の名前らしい。しかしそれはわらわではないのだ。わらわには魔法など何も使えぬ。わらわはその魔女の魂を好みに封じられているだけなのだ。
There was definitely something odd about her. Beyond just being cut off from the world, it seemed she truly believed that magic exists. I think she talked about lots of weird things, but I don't remember the details. All I thought was that this might be a person to be pitied. She wasn't able to leave the mansion of her own free will, a prisoner without even realizing it. And she didn't know anything about the outside world, didn't even understand who she was. Do you know a movie called The Village? Yeah, the movie's pretty cool. So basically, like the premise is, I guess kind of like this, not technically like this, but I don't want to spoil, but yeah, it's, I mean, already said it though. In this, place, there's a village, but they don't know that there is an outside world technically. So the people there, they scare the people in the village. Like they say that they're monsters, etc., etc. But in reality, those monsters are, yeah, them. They don't want them to leave. Basically, I spoiled everything anyways. But yeah, kind of similar. Yeah, this reminds me of The Village, of that movie, if you watched it. She probably vaguely realized that she was to be pitied. But since she didn't know anything, she seemed incapable of recognizing her own happiness. Long ago, when I told Nesan that I felt sorry for the bird cage, she said this: "A bird that only knows about the inside of the cage doesn't long for the outside." But this wasn't a bird. She really was a person. Even if she'd never been outside the cage, she understood that there was more to the world. So I invited her.
柵の外へ出てみますか。本当に狼はいないのか。いないですよ。絶対平気ですから。出たいぞ。だがいつも門は閉まっている。私が入ってきたところがあります。くぐり抜けられる隙間があるんです。そこを抜ければ外の世界があるのか。はい。狼は本当にいない？はい、いませんよ。
I'd only planned on inviting her to go on a short walk, but she kept looking over her shoulder at the mansion as though she was seriously worrying over the decision. Then I learned what she was preparing herself for.
わらわはもうここは嫌だ。外へ出たい。そしてわらわが何者で、この世界はどうなっていて、
わらわは何のために生まれてきたのかを知りたい。
I didn't know what her life had been like before then. It was probably something she couldn't express easily. If it was harsh, she just had to say she wanted to escape. If it was sweet, she just had to say she'd stay. For example, maybe it was like how a hot fireplace on a winter day makes the air get thicker and thicker, giving you a headache. Even though you wouldn't know, even though you know you shouldn't keep things the way they are, you still need a courage to open the window and be tormented by the cold wind. She was starting to realize that she couldn't stay here forever. She was starting to realize that she had to go outside someday. But since she didn't know about the outside world, she must have needed the courage to take the unspeakable first step outside. And despite that, she had made her decision. She'd voiced her decision to go outside, a decision she was probably making for the first time in her life. I hesitated for a moment. Father had decided that she should live here. She was like Father's beloved bird in a cage. If I just let her escape, Father might scold me harshly.
見たい。何を？動物園が見たいのだ。
I was just a little surprised when she finally gave me a gentle smile. Could that have been a far-sightedness brought about by her decision to venture out from her cage? It was a smile so gentle, I couldn't imagine that it had come from the once dark face.
そなたと話すと知らないことばかり出てくる。わらわは学校なるものもわからぬし、動物園も知らぬ、映画館も知らぬ、遊園地も知らぬ。そしてそれを知りたいと心の底から思う。そなたはわらわをそこへ連れて行ってくれるのか？
I was nervous about how I could keep it secret from Father, but her face looked so happy, so I went along with her and nodded. But she seemed to not notice the meaning behind my vague smile. She seemed to believe that I'd really take her to all those places. She was pure and genuine. She'd probably never been tricked by anyone. No, maybe it's better to say that she'd never learned how to doubt. Her smile was somehow radiant and yet pathetic. I wanted to find a way to grant her modest wish.
わらわはもうベアトリーチェは嫌だ。わらわが何者なのか知りたい。ベアトリーチェではない新しい人間を始めたい。だからここから連れ出してほしい。もう紅茶もいらぬ、ドレスもいらぬ、金蔵とも二度と会わぬ。ここよりわらわを連れ出してくれ、ローザ。
However, that responsibility was one that a child like me couldn't hope to fully bear. Still, when I saw her serious gaze, along with that brilliant smile that made it look as though a possessing spirit had left her, I could feel a little courage start to rise up inside me. This was definitely something that would get me into a lot of trouble, and yet it was definitely the right thing to do. I'll take her out, but I'll take her away from here. Of course, I won't be able to talk to Father and Mother either. Should I talk to Onisama or Onesama? If you talk to them, they would instantly tell on you. Yeah. No, what about that reliable Genji-san? Or that's right, what about Kumasawa-san, to whom I can always talk to when I'm in trouble? For I'm sure they'll be able to do something. Anyway, for now, I'll take her out of here. This was already a place she didn't want to be. So I took her to the crack in the fence and led her outside. She was all nervous, checking to make sure there were no wolves around. But once that fear disappeared, even just walking around this dense forest seemed to be fun somehow. Every time she found something, she'd ask me about it. And they were really all trivial things. What's that flower? What's that leaf? And that sound? And that smell? It really was like the inside of the fence had been in her entire world. So now that she traveled beyond the limits of her world, it's strange. When I first saw her, I really thought she was the witch herself, relaxing inside the witch's mansion. But now it was different, or actually the complete opposite. She left the world she'd believed to be finite and was overjoyed at the realization that the world was endless, something she'd never thought of before. So everything she saw was new. It was almost as though she was the one who had been thrown into a fairy tale. If she was Alice, then I almost felt like a rabbit holding a watch. I guess, yeah. And then Alice followed that rabbit. To her, it was probably a really fun walk, filled to the brim with excitement. But I was actually at a loss on what to do. After all, I walked randomly to get there. Of course, I didn't know the way back to our mansion. There were no lights in the forest and I hadn't brought a flashlight. I realized it would be terrible if it got dark while we were still like this, and grew impatient. She was too innocent. And apparently she couldn't understand at all how frightening it would be to face a night inside the forest. But I was the one who brought her outside. I had to take responsibility somehow and resolve the situation. So I had thought, let's go out of the ocean for now. If we then follow the beach around, we should eventually make it back to the mansion. However, that was much more of a problem than I imagined. I didn't have a map or a compass. There was no way I could walk in a straight line through an uncultivated forest, and I immediately lost my sense of direction. I already had no clue which trail I had come by and was completely lost. At this rate, night would definitely fall before I had a clue where to walk. But this was no time to cry. After all, that woman following behind me was so innocent and having so much fun. So I definitely had to lead the way through this forest. For the sake of her smile as well. Gritting my teeth so that she didn't see me looking troubled. I pushed my way through the woods, advancing down a path that wasn't a path. Then after going through the various troubles, I fortunately managed to reach the ocean. And at the time, I still didn't have a clue where I was on the island. But for the time being, I was just a little reassured, realizing that if I just went around this way, I would surely be able to return to the mansion. However, though I had reached the ocean, we were at the top of a rock cliff. Oh no. The beach was far below us. I was tired from walking around the forest for so long, so I figured that an open area, even a rocky beach, would probably be much easier to walk in. So I suggested that we go down the rocky cliff somehow. And it looked pretty dangerous, but I figured there was no other way. However, Beatrice agreed to my plan without any doubts. Even though she was probably older than me, She meekly obeyed, almost as though she were some kind of chick who thought I was her mother. I searched to see if there was some part of the cliff I'd be able to get down, and then I found a place where the cliff had fallen over and made a slope. It looked a little dangerous, but if I went down using both my hands and both legs, like I was crawling, I thought it'd probably be okay.
ここを降りましょう。気をつけないと危ないけど。とにかく海岸に降りて、あとは沿って歩けば、もう迷わずに済むと思うの。
うん。ローザがそうするのならそうしようぞ。わらわは迷うとやらも楽しいぞ。とても愉快だ。
She really had no sense of danger. There was probably no doubt she'd lived a life without discomfort. Even though she knew it would get dark when night fell, she couldn't imagine how dangerous the inside of a forest could be without a light. Furthermore, it seemed that she couldn't grasp at all how dangerous it might be if she fell from the cliff. I warned her repeatedly to be careful. I cautiously examined her potential route down. It seemed to be quite a long drop. I think it might have been about 10 meters down. If you looked at it from the bottom up, it would probably be or have looked shorter than the roof of the mansion. But looking from the top, it almost felt like staring down from the observation on Tokyo Tower. But Beatrice still appeared to be completely without fear. It felt as though she had never been taught that the high places were dangerous. No, maybe she believed that she was a witch. And that she could fly, so there wasn't a need to worry.
気をつけてくださいね。結構高いから。
うん。気をつけるぞ。下へ降りたら海があるな。そこに水族館があるのか。
いえ、この島には水族館はないですよ。でも海にはたくさんの魚がいると思います。
そうか。魚はいるのか。そなたが話してくれたクジラとかイルカとかペンギンとかはいるのか。
Penguins?
いえ、そういうのは水族館に行かないといないです。水族館は島を出ないとないですよ。
そうなのか。だが楽しみだ。クジラとはどんな魚なのか。
すっごく大きな魚で、あれ、哺乳類かな。
Yes, whales are mammals.
それで潮を吹いたりします。
ほう。ならばイルカは。
頭のいい魚で、あれ、これも哺乳類だっけ。とても頭が良くて芸とかを覚えられるんですよ。
ほう。ならばペンギンはどうなのか。
あれ、これは鳥類だっけ。
なんだ。水族館なのにさっきから魚が出てこんぞ。
まあその魚だけでなくいろいろな海の生き物がいっぱいいるんですよ。
ほほう。それはとても楽しみだ。
Oh no. She let out what might have been a funny, rushed, and short cry. No, it was probably a scream. It came right out of the blue. Her body separated from the cliff and silently fell. I immediately wanted to say something to her. I wanted to say, didn't I tell you to be more careful? It was a thought of a child. it was how a child immediately gets mad when something bad happens, trying to find an excuse to show it wasn't their fault. Of course, I said it out loud. Are you okay? Didn't I warn you over and over?
それで崖から落ちてどうなったんだ?
Imagine that, man. The emotions. Like, she was so happy that she got to go out, finally, right? Of the mansion. She was happy to see the world. And then, just like that, it was the end.
Kanojo wa dou shita nda? Rosa.
Rosa fell silent. Her gaze dropped to her feet as though she were seeing through the floor in some disgusting memory.
死んだのね。
Ava's brutal words were the ones Rosa had most wanted to avoid. And then she was hit with them. She screamed in resignation.
死んだわ。岩浜だったもの。尖った危険な岩がたくさんむき出しになっていた。目を見開いたまますごい血が溢れ出して、たちまち真っ赤な絨毯を広げていった。声をかけたわ、揺さぶったわ。でも彼女は返事はおろか、瞬きすらも。私が悪いのよ。彼女はドレス姿だったのよ。あんな動きにくい格好なのを知っていたのに、私が壁壁を降りようなって言ってしまったから。彼女はすごい素直だったから、私の言うことに何の疑いもせずに従って。
いつまで死んでいるつもりか。いい加減に目を覚ませ。まったくわらわの預かり知れぬところで勝手に肉塊に姿を変えようって。
おめえのとこの太もも姉ちゃんとイチャついてただけだぜ。
With the steak nechans.
それよりこれはどういうことだ？
見たままよ。わらわは足を踏み外して転落し死んだ。
なんだと？19人目として登場しておきながら死んだだと？ふざけるな、そんなわけはない。ローザおばさんは子供だったし焦ってた。医者がいたわけでもない。多分死んだと誤解しただけで、お前は多分仮死状態か何かで生きていたんだ。そうだろ。
It can't be true. She got to be alive. Otherwise, how can she be here? The kid-age Aunt Rosa shook Beatrice's body, crying. I stared into that face too, but her eyes were still open and it really was a corpse. I wanted to dodge the issue by saying something vague, like she must be playing dead. But no matter how I looked at it, it didn't look like a fake fall. It really did look like she was dead. Beatrice had fallen upside down from a cliff of that height, and her head had smashed against the pointed tip of those sharp rocks. You would die, wouldn't you, after landing in those rocks from that height? But I couldn't accept it. No matter how dead she looked, she had to be alive. Then she went on to become this damn irritating witch. That makes all the inconsistencies fit. Grandfather must have kept her confined constantly in the mansion. Then to take revenge for that, she committed several atrocious murders. Aunt Rosa probably just mistakenly thought she was dead, but she was actually alive, and as soon as Aunt Rosa left, would miraculously breathe again. Then somehow lived on until the day and opened the curtain on her revenge drama. Otherwise, the facts don't fit together.
そう簡単には騙されねえぞ。赤で復唱できるか？ 確かに死んだと。どうせ生きてるんだろ。見え見えだぜ。
それのどこが生きているように見えるというのか。間違いなく死んでいる。
It's definitely dead. In red. My theory that the 19th person was grandfather's mistress, a human Beatrice, had been defeated. I had planned to strike back from a defensive position, but...
なら、お前は何者だってんだ。お前はたった今、死んだんだろうが。まさか魔法で蘇ったとか言い出すんじゃねえだろうな。
すでに説明したと思うがな。そこに倒れているわらわは確かに魂はわらわだが、その体はわらわを写し終えつなぎ止めておく肉の檻に過ぎなかったと。そしてその肉の檻がこうして壊れた。それがどういうことかわかるか？
もうさっぱりだぜ。好きなだけ魔女っ子トークに興じろよ。チャカの代わりに聞いてやら。なんだ空っぽか。おい、紅茶のおかわりを頼むぜ。
ロノエ、客人が紅茶をお望みだ。
When Beato clapped her hands, Ronovi appeared. Butlers sure are convenient.
おかわりですね。かしこまりました。どの程度お継ぎしましょうか。
どうせチャカがボリューム満点だろうからよ。半分でいいぜ。
それでもなみなみとお入れするのが英国式でございますよ。
Even though just enough to wet my throat would have been fine, he filled it to the top. I turned my back to Beato, sipping it in silence.
ちょっと目を覚ましてよ。
But yeah, I guess this is one of the memories of Rosa. No, well, let's say this event, I guess. This event is one of those that messed her up. Like her, yeah, she's kind of like bipolar. Like, so, yeah, she's good, and then sometimes she's angry. When you look at it with Maria, right? Like even in last episode, like 1 minute she's okay, she's good with her daughter, and the second she's gonna be super angry at her, and then the next minute she's gonna be saying sorry, and then she's calm again. Yeah, like traumatic experiences that she, what do you say? How do you say it? Okay, let's continue first. Rosa shook me. No, shook the corpse that had once been me. I watched over her from a short distance away. I had experienced in her life, right? Yeah, a lot. From the bullying of her siblings, her parents, pretty much doesn't like her, both mom and dad, right? And now she's seen this. Like, she saw the witch she was helping, and then inadvertently, I guess, she didn't really kill her, but yeah, inadvertently she fell because they went this path. So I fell from there and died. For a while I believed that was true. I saw Rosa spend a long time beside my corpse and watched her as she ran away. Eventually, I realized that I was a different individual from that corpse.
So. わらわは、ようやく、金蔵の戒めから逃れられたのか。
Eventually, I felt the memory returning. The fact that I was an endless witch who had lived for 1,000 years. Then I remembered that I'd been summoned by Kinzo and that I'd been imprisoned by him for a long time. While being imprisoned in a cage of flesh, I completely lost my memory as a witch. However, thanks to Rosa, if you could say that, thanks to my accidental death, I'd now regained myself.
ローザ、そなたはわらわを死なせてしまったと後悔しているだろうが、わらわにとっては感謝したいくらいよ。
I couldn't see Rosa anymore. Did she go to call a doctor, or was she terrified that she ran away? It no longer matters. That soulless shell no longer has any value. And yet, I am so frail now. Even this glorious midday sun is agony to me. I destroyed my human form, and then I changed it into several gold butterflies. Yes, with my magical power, as frail as it is now, this form is easier to maintain. To escape even a little from the light of the sun, I rode the wind and gently flew up the side of the cliff. It will probably be a bit cooler in the forest. Anyway, I'll take some time to recuperate and regain my former power. As I ponder how to make Kinzo pay up all he owes me. Dancing alone through the air, I looked down at the shore one more time. On the rocky shore lay the figure of what had once been me, the figure I would eventually regain. It's kinda sad, yeah, tragic actually. Beatrice lived in this mansion. I don't know if it's alone or not. We don't even know if she had servants there, right? Because yeah, when Rosa went there, she even said that, are you the new gardener, right? So there are people who's been there who is not Kinzo, right? For sure. But yeah, it's just sad. She was just like, let's say she's alone, right? Alone in that mansion there, finally escaping it, finally getting out of the gates. Very happy seeing all this stuff, seeing the ocean, talking about whales, penguins. And then she just fell, and that was her life. Very sad, right? And yeah, Miss Golden Witch right there confirmed that in red, that body is really dead. But she didn't say, she didn't talk about the, what do you call it, 19th person. Yeah, she didn't say anything about that though. At least right now. Let's see later. To regain the form of the physical body I had thrown away, it would probably take more than 100 or 200 days. And it might require 1,000 days or perhaps even more. However, I am the Endless Witch. The Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years. Waiting any countable number of days would be no problem. Oh Kinzo, regret that you are not here now. No longer will you able to capture me. So it's still, or...
それでお前は黄金の蝶に姿を変え、森の中に潜んで魔力が回復するのを待った。
No, I mean, is still there a 19th person? I mean, yeah, human Beatrice. She's gone. But yeah, we need a confirmation here. I hope Butler asked her. Like, can you tell it in red? If there is, what do you call this? If there is a 19th person here.
そういうことだ。そなたを嘲笑するためにこの姿を取るが、本来は蝶たちの姿でいた方が 魔力的には楽なのだ。
無理しねえで楽な格好で嫌がれよ。ムカつく笑い声を聞かずに済むぜ。
蝶に姿を変え森に紛れたわらわを探し出すことなど、もはや金蔵には不可能なこと。だが、金蔵も指をくわえているわけではなかった。しかしわらわを捕らえる方法はすぐに用意はできぬ。そのため、まずはわらわをこの島から逃さぬ方法。そして、わらわが力を取り戻すことがないよう、即座に手を打ったのだ。やれやれ、とにかく金蔵の執念深いことと言ったら、想像を絶する。あれに惚れられるのも、なかなかに辛いものだぞ。
蝶になったお前を逃がさない方法？なんだよ。森全体に蚊帳でも張ったってのか？
うん。それを魔法的に行ったのだ。そなたは知っておるか？船着き場の先の洋上に岩礁が浮かび、そこに小さな東洋魔術の祠があることを。
ああ、あれか。今年はなくなってたけどな。昔、修験者が作ってったとかいう祠なんだろ？
六軒島は元来、歪みのある島でございます。魔力的な存在や、それに類した存在を引きつけます。お嬢様も、そんなうちのお一人でございましょうね。紅茶のおかわりはいかがですか？
いただこうぞ。それらは人間たちに害をなし、おそらく数々の不気味なる伝承を残してきたであろう。それを聞きつけた東洋魔術師が古代に設けたのがあの祠なのだ。長い時間を経て、その力は失われておった。金蔵はそれを修復することで、島の結界を蘇らせ、わらわを再び島に縛り付けたのだ。
西洋魔女のお前に、東洋の魔法なんて通じるのかよ。
本来は相性が悪い。しかしわらわを封じたいという目的においては、ある意味都合が良かっただろうな。わらわも西洋魔術であれば心得がある。どのような結界であっても何かの手が打てたであろう。しかし東洋魔術は専門外よ。わらわが飲まんとするスープに対し、スプーンではなく箸を与えられたようなものだ。
東洋魔術が強く支配する空間では、西洋魔術はひどく力を失います。ただでさえ、1000日はかけたであろう力を取り戻す時間を、さらに長くかけねばならなかったのです。
それで、約20年かけて魔力を取り戻し、今こうして蘇ったって言いたいのか？
辛く長い年月であった。わらわは黄金の蝶の姿のまま長く日々を送り、金蔵の屋敷を見つけ、奴の日常を見守った。どのように仕返しをしてやろうか、それを思案することだけを日々の楽しみに生きてきた。わらわにとって幸運だったのは、その間の20年間、金蔵はわらわを探し出し、捕らえるあらゆる秘術にことごとく失敗した点だったか、人間に起こせる奇跡の数などたかが知れている。わらわをあれだけ長く捕らえていただけでも十分に身に過ぎた奇跡だ。そう何度も捕らえられてはたまらぬわ。
じい様が前のゲームだかで言ってたな。魔法は確率的奇跡に宿る。みたいなことをよ。
うん。金蔵はわらわを再び捕らえる秘術を探るうちにそこに行き着いたのだ。そして13人の生贄を捧げることでわらわを再び蘇らせる儀式をついに編み出したのだ。
13人の生贄。
それが魔女の碑文、生贄の歌でございます。第1の番に6人、第2の番に2人、そして第4の番から第8の番にかけて5人、合計13人の生贄を捧げる禁じられた儀式。その生贄はランダムに決められ、儀式を執り行う金蔵自身も例外にはなりません。
バカ野郎。この島で起こったあの凄惨な殺人が全部おかしな儀式だって言うのかよ。
I've had a vague idea that this might be the case, but I couldn't just hear that it was the true form. Wait, I couldn't just hear that it was true form, a witch and a demon, and say, oh really, and accept it. Okay?
六軒島には18人いる。
Confirm it then. Do your red rule.
13人が生贄に捧げられ、5人だけが生き残る。そしてわらわは蘇る。つまり、金蔵がわらわに再び会える確率は、だいたい3分の1といったところか。その確率に自らの命を落とし、残りわずかな寿命の最後の一瞬に、わらわとの再会を望んだのだ。
そのふざけた儀式のために俺たち親族が集められたってのかよ。ふざけやがって。いい加減なことを抜かすんじゃねえ。
もとより契約の通りだ。金蔵の生を終えるとき、貸し与えた黄金と、そして金蔵が生み出した財産のすべてをわらわがもらい受けることになっておる。金蔵には散々に英雄を飲まされたが、今となってはこの1000年でも稀な時間だった。何しろ魔女の天敵は退屈よ。それから逃れることのできる数十年間を提供した金蔵には、なるほど、それも含めて借りがあるやもしれぬ。わらわは金蔵のゲームに乗ることにした。そしてまず、金蔵は後宮家当主の指輪をわらわに返却する。わらわの黄金で復興させた家だからな。そして、13人の生贄を気まぐれに決めるのだ。そしてその過程で、お前たちが右往左往し、わらわに立ち向かおうと様々な人間模様を見せてくれることは、わらわにとって非常に愉快なことだ。
It's quite funny though. Then 13 people are chosen at random to be sacrificed. As well, that happens, you all run about, showing me all kinds of human interactions as you try to oppose me and entertaining me greatly. The first episode, right? Yeah, Beatrice was not showing herself then. Okay.
わらわはこの金蔵のゲームを実に気に入っている。
Okay, are we going back to Rosa now? Not yet.
そんな魔法話は絶対信じねえぞ。じゃあお前は誰なんだ。お前は崖から転落して死んだんだろうが、魂が抜け出して蝶になって森へ。そんなのあるわけねえだろうが。だがお前はここにいる。誰だってんだ。お前こそが19人目じゃねえのかよ。
そうであるな。わらわこそが19人目であろうな。
Confirm it then.
だがダメだぜ。全然ダメだ。
She's not using her. Okay.
この六軒島に19人以上の人間は存在しない。
There we go. No more. Okay, I'll write this down. This is what I was waiting for. There are no more 18 than more than 18 humans. So basically 18 humans are here. 18 humans on Rokenjima. In red, confirmed by Miss Beatrice or the Golden Witch.
なんだってうわ
She couldn't say it earlier? Now she's saying it.
ってことは18人プラス X の X は存在しないってのかよ。俺が取ったコマ X は存在しないってのかよ。
そういうことになります。実にご愁傷様ですよ。しかしお嬢様も手がお早いですな。もう少し泳がせて最後にひっくり返すものとばかり思っておりました。さてバトラス様、紅茶のおかわりはもう結構ですか？
いらねえよチキショー。俺は信じないぞ。
Honestly, Beatrice could have said this earlier. She just didn't want to. She just wanted Butler to have hope, right? And then now she does it with the red and then kicked him down, basically.
18人の中に犯人がいるわけね。じゃあお前は何なんだよ。どうしてここにいるんだよ。19人目が存在しないってんならお前は18人の誰かの変装だって言うのかよ。
そなたにとってしぶしぶとではあっても
Castling? What is castling?
18人の誰かを疑うことが最後の逃げ道。しかしわらわはここからが難しいのだ。そなたはなりふりさえ捨てれば18人もの人間を自在に犯人に仕立て上げられる。その18人の駒をくぐり抜けわらわを認めさせチェックメイトに至るのは実に難しいことよ。
そんなことするもんか。18人の誰も疑わない。疑いたくない。またここに追い込まれちまったのか。畜生畜生畜生。
三度に及んだそなたとのゲームもいよいよ終盤戦のようではないか。
We're approaching the end. We just started.
もう逃げ場はないぞ。お前の大好きな18人を疑いたくないだろう。わらわがそれをかぶってやるぞ。なのになぜわらわを拒むのか。序盤は本のように、中盤は魔術師のように、そして終盤は機械のようにさせとな。これより詰めるぞ。ゆっくりじっくり確実にな。いや、それともそなたにふさわしく一気に畳みかけるのが良いのか。そなたにはそれが似合うだろう。そうしよう。すでにそなたの苦手とする攻め方も知り抜いておるわ。
We're gonna have to analyze after this. I'm gonna have to check the persons. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check them. They're showing everyone. Yeah, this is the first time you see Genji and Connor, I think, in this episode. Then this happened. Okay, they skipped it finally. I thought we are gonna be seeing that again. The wedding, not the wedding, the engagement. Who falls this time? Who is gonna be the starting six, right? Starting six of the first Twilight. But yeah, I wish Kyrie would be alive. I wish Rudolph would be alive. I mean, Ava is gonna be alive for sure. Like, I thought she was gonna be the major character in this story, but up until now, yeah, we're pretty much focused on Beatrice still. So, we will see. But yeah, I wish that all three of them, Kyrie, Rudolph, Ava. I mean, Ava, I think Ava is guaranteed. Yeah, I think Ava is guaranteed. Rudolph and Kyrie, please be alive. Do not die. You see this portrait? This portrait is much better. The portrait on the second episode when they changed it, I didn't like it. I did not like it. Midnight. Okay, are we moving forward or what? Okay. Okay, let us take a break here. Finish the story with Rosa there. And Miss or the human Beatrice. Okay, why can I switch? Okay, there we go. It's just a little bit bugged. So how many people are this? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wait, what? 4, let's say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. No, I'm counting Beatrice. I was like, oh, why is there 19 people? Okay, let's not count Miss Golden Witch here for now, right? So she had a red rule here. Or red word. Or however you pronounce it. Or however you say it, I mean. That there are 18 humans in Rokkenjima. Disregard everything of the magic. Who can be the culprit here? Kinzo? I highly doubt it. He just wants to bring back Beatrice. But I don't think... Like, it's super obvious if it's him. Super obvious then. Because of the occult stuff, right? I don't think so. I do not think so. So, let's not... it's probably not him. Yeah. Probably not him. Kraus? No. Yeah, I think this one, Kraus, Natsuhi, and the kids. Jessica, Butler, Maria, even Maria, I mean. I doubt it though. Yeah. They can't be the culprits here. No. The Oshirimiya family itself. Like, if you look at them, like, way too obvious if it's them. One of them, I mean. Maybe they wanted the money so badly. But the thing is, we need a connection to the Golden Witch though. Right? Who is this Golden Witch in the magic scenes, right? So there has to be a character that is representing, or maybe how do you say that? Representing the Golden Witch. There has to be a character like that. But who? Ava, after seeing what she saw, traumatic experience and all, and now she wants revenge. Yeah, it broke her mind. Is that it? I don't know. Nanjo Terumasa. I don't think... dude, no. Hell no. Goda. Shannon. Furthermore, Shannon is nothing more than a pseudonym. Yes, not her real name. Kanon. These two came from an orphanage, right? Maybe? Maybe they have connections with Beatrice. One of them. Genji. Because yeah, let's do another callback, I guess, to the second episode. We saw Kinzo there, second episode, apologizing, saying a lot of those stuff, right? I forgot the exact words, but yeah, definitely he was apologizing to what he did. And then we see Beatrice, second episode again, when she was against George and Shannon right here. She was saying that men, yeah, I think was it men only likes one thing, and it's flesh. So definitely something happened there. If Kinzo has been going there, he probably did something, man. He probably did something to Beatrice. It's hard. We're just speculating right now. Maybe he did something to Beatrice. Maybe Kanon, Shannon. I don't know. Maybe they had a kid. And one of these two, yeah, they came from the orphanage, right? Maybe they become... Now they want revenge. But yeah, how do they know this though? The thing is, how do they know? Like, even so, let's just say that. How do they even know the connection here then? Right? Like, if in human... let's say the human side, how would you even know if they come from an orphanage who your mother and father is? And boy, yeah, she's gone. How do you pull that connection, right? For example, Beatrice and Shannon here. Oh, in my mind, so hard to theorize this, because there definitely has a connection on why this thing is appearing in this game. If it's one of the characters, there is a connection. It just can't be like, oh, it's Nanjo, he's pretending he's the Golden Witch. It can't be like that. Yes, it cannot be like that. So we have a connection here, but what is the connection there? Yeah, I'll just say one of my theories, maybe, like I said, a legitimate child. She is a legitimate child already. Beatrice, this one, the one we saw who died. A legitimate child between Kinzo and his mistress, right? But what if, as a, they kept saying, even last episode, Kinzo was courting her. Doesn't think of her as her child, thinks of her as a reincarnation of his mistress. So what if they had a kid as well, right? What if they had that? Alabama Island. What if they had that? And maybe one of these two are the kid. That is maybe the connection there. That's why we have this thing in the magic side, the witch appearing here, the one talking to Butler. If they kept insisting that there is an 18th person, or no, I mean that the culprit is within the 18th person group, right? Okay, I don't know anymore. Let's just see what happens in this episode. Let's just see. Yeah, very hard. Very, very hard. Like, I don't really see any... Like, look at Shannon or Kanon. Do they look like this? Not really. Like, even Ava. Ava or Rosa looks like this much more, right? I don't know. Okay, I think I'm done for this episode, or this, not an episode, this video. We are just gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry, episode 3, in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.